Friday, good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for joining the call. Could you please share your screen and open the today's PPT and walk me through? Over to you, Sudarshan.
Thank you, Ravi, for giving me this opportunity. Today, I want to discuss about some few things about Anaplan, few topics of Anaplan. The topics are adding a module, adding 9 items to a module, what is model grid view, what is the blueprint view, toggle between grid view and blueprint view, blueprint view settings, formula editing, about system modules, time functions, copy a module, data import methods, add a data to a module, summary methods, source and target mapping in a formulas, avoid hard coding, lookup function, sum function, pivot, copy across and or copy down unfunctional areas. Let's go to the next slide. First, adding a module. Adding a module is in a module. It is quite simple. I will show in Workspace to how to add a module in a Workspace. It is under uh, content section below. We have to go to modules, and here we have there is a tab insert module. Click on that insert module and type your SIS. An example I'm taking. According to the data, we have to write better to write as naming convention. It is better to understand for user and for us and end users. And this is a these are the pages, and this is a column, and this is a row. Here we have to take dimensions in column section. Anywhere we can take either at pages or rows, and here we have to write line items. What we want the line items according to the data. To that data, we have to take line items, and these are the dimensions under the list and roll up. These are the dimensions. We can drag it to here. According to the data, we have to drag it the any dimension, any list according to the data. To I'm not taking anything. I'm taking as time. Time dimension is as a default. It will be. I'm adding line items here. Current period. Actual period. These are the line items I have taken. Line items we can add line items in two ways. First way is like this we have to add, and second way I will show in the next slides. See, I'm clicking OK. After finishing the line items, we click on OK. We will directly go to the page, line settings page. Now going to the next slide. These are the line items. And these are the Jan 19, Jan, February, these are the dimensions. And pages are not there here. We can change even we want pages. We can drag to the pages. I can see here, these are the pages and dimensions. I'm taking as time as column only. I'm going to the next slide. Now adding a line items, I have already added a line items here. In another way, I will show the second way I'm deleting. Again, I'm creating module here. And directly, I'm not mentioning any line item here. I'm going to directly click on OK. Now we can add here also in the setting in the SYS time settings. Here insert now in the edit tab, there is an insert. Click on insert and right here also. Here. These are the line items in the second way I have taken. Click on OK. See, the same data has came before. This is the second way I'm trying. And now going to the next slide. Next slide is model grid view. Grid view is the default view for a model. Grid view initially displays the data in the layout create on the new model screen, but the layout can be changed later. In the grid view, we will have data layout, create new model, dimension list, and line items. Line items included in the model can shown as space selectors, columns, and rows. I will show an example in the workspace for grid view, model grid view. This is the model grid view. Uh, this this data layer is called data grid view. Here we have dimensions now. These are the line items. First day, last day, these are the line items. And Jan 19, February 19, these are the dimension. We can change the pivot to pages also, to pages and line items to columns. Anywhere how the data will be want to see, you can change like that. For me, I want to choose like this only. Line items to rows and time to none. This is the grid view. The data layout in the system time settings is called grid view. And going to the next slide, blueprint view. Model blueprint view is nothing but behind the sense of the grid view. What behind the sense of the grid view, what data is coming is done. The total data will be done in the blueprint view. In blueprint view, the model builders can add formulas to perform calculations on line time or update format of line items. The blueprint will also view model builders can adjust the dimension list time that applies the model or specific line items. For this blueprint view, I'm going to show an example in the workspace. This is the grid view. For blueprint view, click on here, uh, this triangle shape blueprint on this tab. This is the blueprint view. Here we can add the total work to be done for the result. Here we have to done the total work for the result. The result will be shown in the grid view. To get the result, we have to go to the blueprint view and we have to work on. We can we have to work on this blueprint view. This blueprint view. This is blueprint view. In blueprint view, we have format, formulas, summary. We have to write formulas. We have to set format. We have to do summary. If we, according to the data, we have to set all this to get the result in the grid view. It will show the result in the grid view. This is blueprint view. What I have. I'm going to the next slide. Toggle between grid view and blueprint view. Here I'm taking grid view presents the content of the model, including the raw data. It contains the result of its calculation. For this, I'm taking an example. This time setting only. I'm writing a formula for this. Before writing formula, I want to set the format settings, format data type. For first data of month, I'm setting it as date, and last day of month also I want day. I'm choosing date. Okay. For current period, I am choosing Boolean. Boolean means we can show true or false like that. Boolean will do that. For current period, I'm choosing date. For actual period, I'm choosing Boolean category. For forecast also, I'm choosing Boolean data type. For forecast also, forecast months also, I'm choosing Boolean data type. Now I'm writing formula for first first day of month. This is the first day of formula and last day formula, last day of month formula is and writing formula for current period. Formula. For actual period. Current period stock. For forecast period. Greater than or equal to current period stock. For forecast month also the same formula will be applied. Current period stock. This is the blueprint view. Here we have written the formula. This show the result in the grid view. This is the grid view and the data is shown here. The difference between grid view and blueprint view is this. In grid view, it is shown in the black color. When I written formulas in blueprint view, it's shown as black color. We cannot change this um, line items. We cannot change anything here. See here, cannot change anything. But in blueprint view, if I remove this formula here in grid view, I can change the formula here. It is in blue color. Blue color means it we can change it. See, we can change anything here. This is the difference between blueprint view and grid view. In it, when it is shown in black color, we cannot change anything and we cannot add anything. We cannot write anything. But it is in blue color. When it is in blue color, we can write anything. Write anything means what the data is suitable, we can write. Now I'm going to the blueprint view and writing the formula here. See here. Now it is in black color. When I am giving the current data, not it's taken and we cannot change in grid view. This is toggle between grid view and blueprint view. I'm going to the next slide. Blueprint view settings. Blueprint views present the structure of a model. A model view contains many columns. I'm showing next in Workspace. We have so many columns in the blueprint view. When we go to the right side, scroll to the right side, there are so many are there. These are belongs to blueprint view, and we use only main use format formula summary applies to, and time scale, time ranges, version, styles, and modes. That is discuss about briefly about this columns in Workspace. Format, I have already said that format is the settings. According to the line item, we have to choose the data type. Whether it is number, we can choose number. Whether it is boolean, we have to choose boolean. It is time period, we have to choose time period. List, we have to choose list. I will show these examples in next lesson. Whether it is in text, we can text, but in text we have choose. It can choose numbers and text. Whether there is no data, you can choose no data also. This is the about format settings and formula. This is the formula I have already shown how to write the formula here. First, in summary, we have summary also like this only. I will discuss this on next lesson. And applies to is here we can add dimensions list. These are the dimensions list. We can choose anything here. What the if the line item choose this list, we can choose according to the data we have to choose them. But this data I not need any dimensions here, so I'm not taking any dimensions here. We can add time scale. I have chosen time scale as month. We can have day, month, year. I have chosen month. I want the data per month only, so I have chosen month. Time ranges. Time ranges are same thing. It is a model calendar. I have I have taken only model calendar. Versions are same versions. If any version we have to add, here we can add. For this data, not need any versions. This is the style format. Style format is nothing but is giving the heading summary like this. For example, I'm giving a heading one. It will show like this first data, and I'm giving to any as summary to will be shown like this. For highlighting purpose, we are using the style format. It is easy to find whether it is highlight whether where the data is there. For this data, I'm not required any styles. This is the cell count. Cell counts here. This is a module as far as time setting. It shows the how many cells are there in the module. It will show total cell count. In the mod, these are the line items. It will show for each line item. For first day of month, it has 48 cells, and last day of month, it has 48 cells. Like this, it will be shown. The total will be shown here in the module. 336 is the it is the notes. We can write. It is whether any important thing or comment we can mention there. This is the notes. What it is any important thing or any different thing or this we have to mention here. This is about this. These are the main things we are using in Anaplan mainly. This is about blueprint view settings. I'm going to the next slide. Formula editing. Formula editing was, see, this is the picture of formula editing bar, and this is the formula line item. I mean name line item, name of the line item, and this is the expand formula bar, and this is the formula editing bar, and this is the formula editing actually. I will show an example in Workspace. See, I'm taking this data only. See, this is I'm choosing first. This is the line item. What I have choose, these are the line items. Any See, these are the line items, and I have to. These are the formula expand bar. For large data, we cannot see here. For large formulas, we cannot see. We cannot see here in this bar. So for large formulas, we can see here. Here we can see any large formulas here. By expanding this here, we can see the formula. And we want to write any formula in this bar. This is the formula bar. When we want to write any formula, we want to double click on here. When double click here, it will show cancel or active. Then we do not want any formula, we have to cancel here. When we have done with our formula and go to here, tick mark, it will get the data here, and result will be shown here in the grid view. This is about formula editing formula bar. I'm going to the next slide. About system modules. System modules serves as the foundation for a model. System modules holds functions and data that are different in input calculations and output modules. System modules allows model builders to create data in central dimension and apply specific attributes to them, creating line item that can be used as the reference throughout the model. I'm showing an example in the workspace. See, this is the system module. In this system module, we can create. I created I created line items. These line items can be referred through any models or any line items or modules we can refer to through any modules by reference or writing a formula choosing this system time settings. System modules can be used to hold data may be needed or different. I have already said that the data is needed. We can choose writing a formula. We can choose or we can reference the formula as system time settings dot first day of month. We can choose like that as a reference. We can choose two ways: writing a formula and reference by a line item or a module. System modules are often used time settings, hierarchies, details, and attributes, mapping dimensions. In system modules, we have this. These are used in system modules, time settings, hierarchy, details, and attributes, mapping dimensions in to list or modules, filtering, user list, clearing or deleting the items from a list. This is about system module. I'm going to the next slide. Time functions. Time functions are two types. One is non-time series function, and the second one is the time series function. For non-time series function it used to read the data from line items that use in different time ranges. And in the time series function, it includes same time range must be used for the line item, holding the calculation at any line item that are included in the calculations. These time functions used in the next lessons. For now, to know about this basic details is enough to know. So I'm not showing any example on time functions in the workspace. I will show in the next lessons. I'm going to the next slide. Copying a module. Copying a module is quite simple. I'm showing an example here. For large data, we can type and typing a new model and creating the new line items. It is time taking process and it is so difficult also. For this in Anaplan, it is easy to by clicking here copy is there. Copy task copy tab. Click on that copy tab. We can get a module name, enter the module name, and in module name I have already created that copy system. I'm taking the same data as copy item. In this, we have chosen to view default view and include what view you want to see. We have to select that bar, and we have given functional areas also. I'm not given any functional area. That's why it's not showing anything there, but it's not problem. There is no problem even not giving functional area. This is the page. See here in modules. This is the sign. This is the original data, and this is the copied data. And this is the data in copy module. See, we have the same data. See, this is also same data. This is about copy module. So, clicking another copy module. I'm deleting this copy module. I delete. I have deleted. I'm having only one module, the original module. The data is this is about copy module. I'm going to the next slide. Data import methods. There are four methods for data import methods. One is manual, second one is the Anaplan connect, and third is the ETL connectors, and fourth one is the REST API. For this data input methods, we have mainly chosen manual imports only. We are not for this data. I'm not using Anaplan connect, ETL connectors, and rest of APIs. I will explain in the next lesson.
దీన్ని పంపించేస్తాను
To this data, I'm using manual data only, so I'm explaining about manual import. Yes. Manual import method is used for importing the small data sets frequently. It only takes the data files like .txt and .csv file or the .xls or .pf file. These files only it will take in the manual input methods. I will explain. Unaplan connect is nothing but I will tell in the next lessons. For now, it is not required. These three are not required. So I'm going to the next slide.
For small,
Add data to a module.
we have given any URL.
I'm adding to a model here. Many modules will contain raw data
Yep.
using back performance or
Okay.
as in
Problem.
calculation.
Karthik will try it since. Please, can you share that URL for me so that I'll share with him. He will check with his team and he will let us know that whether it is working or not.
You can enter any data modules here in grid view or copying or pasting the cell values in the module. But
No,
this
Narendra.
for smallest it will be can write and we can be do. For large data there is the thousands of and thousands of data we cannot.
Yeah, only Bapuji only told
We
that
cannot.
take Nati and share it with share
We
to
cannot you cannot write it is
so
time
that
taking.
he will check with his team whether it is working or not. If not, he will
Another way we
tell
can
us alternate.
import the data in the module. When the data for your models are already exist in some other system within your organization, you can
No, no.
generate an import
Just
and
now I talked.
in
He told that
show an
share.
example in
Team
Workspace.
anyone will share it.
In creating a new module here,
Naresh. Yeah, Naresh, it is. Okay then. Okay, thank you, team. You can carry on now.
for system modules will not require any time dimensions. To require, I want it to employ list.
But not required. We have
I'm writing line items.
Megla Susmita Mugli. No problem. Yeah. Is it useful? It is useful, Narendra. We can't ask like this complete process in first question. You can add that last. No, actually, the time is. Okay. You can, this. Can you explain any part of the clear? Okay, we are talking about question like. Question like the question can you explain that? Question like the explain. Can you explain and to an overview of the stay? That's can be implemented. Can be implemented.
Here I'm adding a module to
Of reconciliation process in detail with trade and
which is the data of employee details. Now I want to import to this data. For importing, we have to import like before importing, we have to check in blueprint view whether the format of the line items is correct or not. For code 3, I'm here. I want to
then how to do summary and reconciliation process with real-time examples. Can you explain how your reconciliation process
for name also.
Can you explain that?
For department,
అందుకే the video చూడండి
I'm choosing list.
చూపించారు కానీ
In the
actually is shown but it is some example.
Team. Hello.
Excuse
Excuse me. Hello. Hello. Hello, team.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Narendra. Narendra.
I'm choosing region.
అది మీరు పంపించింది డాక్యుమెంట్ సో ఓన్లీ స్మార్ట్ వ్యూ యూఆర్ఎల్ కనెక్ట్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేసినట్టు కావాలి
List and taking as country.
మీరు డాక్యుమెంట్ పంపించారు
For start date, I'm choosing date format, data type, and leave data. I'm choosing date. It is because it is in date format. So I have chosen date format. For current salary number, it is number only, and commission also it is number only. For role, I have to choose a list. List. But here I have not created any list for role, so I want to create a role in list. Go to modules and click on general list and insert here. I have inserted a new list and chosen one here. The role is created now. Open that role, and here I want to giving it label as all roles. I'm not giving any parent hierarchy. I do not want any parent hierarchy for this data, for this list. So all roles are created, and now I'm importing that list data for a new file. Here role is there, and this is correct one. So it not mention any parent here there. So I'm removing the parent. It should be blank only. Now I'm importing. It is successfully imported.
పర్లేదు.
There are no ignored values or no failure. So it is successfully imported. If the data is came in grid view, also it is came like this. Now go to the modules and open this system employees details, and for the rows choose the format data type as list and choose the role here. Click on OK. See, the format is created now.
టీమ్ యూఆర్ఎల్ ఏం పంపించకండి, బాపూజీ షేర్ చేశారు.
See, this is the view for the data format. When I created data formatted on the data, the view
చెప్పండి.
will be like this. Now
వాట్ యు విల్ డు నౌ?
I already said that we can write, we can import or write formula by importing the data to get data here. We can write by formula or importing the data. I'll show as example.
ఓకే.
Both. Right.
ఓకే, టేక్ యువర్ ఓన్ టైం.
Now I'm importing the data here. Uploading. Here I'm giving employees as score. And go to next slide. These are colored, these are in green, these are colored. Here commissions not matches, so we have to do map item manually. And commission, click on commissions. Click on commissions here. And run import. So I want to change over employees. See the data is clear like this. Because the error came because I have written the formula here for development, so it's shown like that. This is the data import method. I'm going to the next slide now. On source targeting map, I have shown now. I'm importing here. Before pulling the data from source file, this file we import here. Click on import, upload in a file, like this. So this is the source file. This is the source file, and these are the target element, target data. So we have to choose like this here 4, and and next we have to go to employee data, and here this way we have to choose for the pulling the data to the target item. We have pulling the data from the module into another module by a formula, and we have to use formula or pulling the data for importing the data or receiving at the target level. The goal is to identify dimension between the modules as one of the two things that can occur. Before mapping the modules, we have to check the dimensions here, whether the format of the list is correct or not, whether the summary items. According to the data, we have to choose and select whether the dimensions, so both the source and target dimension must be same, then only it will be import. But this data I have chosen like this. The data has came like this. I'm going to the next slide. This is about the source and targeting mapping and mapping models of our formulas. I'm going to the next slide. Summary method. Summary method. This is the summary method. This column here, summary method. We can choose here summary method. Summary method. According to the line item, we have to choose here formula first line here. We can have more options. Go to system settings, blueprint view. In here we can see so many see here formula, minimum, max. You can see so many. According to the line item, we have to choose. For time summary also we can choose like this by clicking on according to the data, according to the line item we have to choose. For now I'm not requiring anything here, so I keep it as none. This is about the summary data. In the summary data, line items must be summary method options can be updated in the blueprint view. I have already shown it in the Workspace. It should be done in the blueprint view. See here, this is done in blueprint view only. And Summary methods have many different options. I have already shown that many options are there to calculate the hierarchy across the time or both. You can get the summary method different depending on the what type of summary makes. I already told that according to the line items, we get the summary type. We have to choose the summary, whether it will be formula or anything like this. For now, this data not required any summary data. That's why I keep as none. The summary method options for line items define how the data total is displayed. When we choose, according to now, I not required any data. That's why I'm not choosing anything. If we choose any formula or anything, it's shown the data in the grid view. Here, the data will be shown in the. This is about summary data. Avoid hard coding. We can avoid hard coding by writing formulas. Here we can write formulas, or we can reference by, it will shown in the next lessons. We can be reference, you can reference this module to other modules also. It is it is required when it is required we can write formula. When it is not, it is dependable on reference, we can take on as reference module. Both we can take as writing formula not a problem, or we can reference also. Hard coding is the process of writing formulas contains for specific data. We can write formulas, or instead of using a reference that points of the data, we can reference the data also for other modules. This is about to avoid hard coding. And lookup function. For lookup function, I'm taking another new model. Before that, I want to say this one. The lookup function look up the values in source line items using one of the more mapping. It will be look up from the, it will take the data from the source line item into the target module. Mapping must, there is some instructions. Mapping must be in line item or property. Mapping dimensions must match the target model. I said that mapping must be same as the source model and target model. Mapping this format must match one of the dimensions on the source. It must match one of the dimensions. The result line item must match the data type of the source line item. It must match the data type of the source. In the target model also, the result must be matched with the source line item. It look up the data in a source model or list and return the data in line item target model view. The syntax of the lookup function is value to lookup of mapping. We can take any number of modules and number of lookup mappings. This is about syntax values of lookup of mapping one, comma, looking up mapping. I will show an example for this. For this, I'm taking a new module here. Insert a module. Oil drivers. For this, required employee to and line items. For this module, I want this line items. I have chosen this line items and click OK. See the data is came here like this. The data layout will be like this. For this layout, first we have to choose the format data type. For bonus, I want to choose number. I want to take decimal places to number of, and I want person for bonus percentage. For remaining line items, it will be number only. Now I'm writing the formula. Now I want something touch. For this data I'm importing here. First I want to pivot this one. 10 items here. 10 items to columns and employees to rows. I have chosen one. See like this the data will be. Now I'm importing the data here. Upload a file. Employee drivers. Next. On here employee users for column enters. And employee drivers. Now go to employee here. We have to map here for bonus, for car allowance, for phone allowance, for medical benefit, medical. How to run the info. Plus costs. I want to apply here another dimension also. I have taken wrong. For this, I want to take even department. We can change the dimension from here also applies to. Now import the data here. Employee drivers. Sorry, sir. I have written blueprint route. We have to go to chosen mouse. Now it is came. You have to write here the dimensions. Yeah, even department. Now import the data here now. Drivers. Country as country. Even department. all of interest. Expenses of expenses of input here. It is map. See, all the maps are here. All the lineups are mapped. For employee, is considered as mapped. Now run the import the data. See, all the successfully imported completed. All the files are imported. There are no ignore and no failures. There see the data is came here. This is how to import the data to lookup function. For lookup function, I want to take another module for go to modules. I want to take another module and for this I not need any time dimension. I want drawing medical cost. The data has came here. You can pivot this line item say employee active as rows, one line item as rows. See there. Now write the formula in for the bonus. Double click on bonus curve. You have to reference from employee bonus. From system employee details. Status setting. Private. To the employee expenses and write formula for bonus. Go to employee driver. Click on bonus. From system employees. Department. Story. I have taken here from take even department. Even department. drivers. System department. Grow. A second, then it taken down. Yeah. Employee drivers. Department. Country. I'll try to find a drivers. Honest system department. Country. Let's sorry, I want to write here definition. Okay. My thinking is taking long, so I want to delete the employee drivers. Maybe a glitch or just go to Marcus. select employed. Again, I'm creating and taking as country, even department, line item as commerce. Cost. Edit one. See country and department name. Now go to employee expenses and write form. Go to employee drivers. Oh, sir, I'm not imported the data here in employee. So I'm importing import employee drivers here. Country as country code. Department column headers and expenses are expense. And to see all the matches are done successfully. Employee drivers you have to match manually match bonus to bonus, car allowance to allowance, phone allowance to phone allowance, medical benefits medical benefit, and then import successfully completed. Now the data is came and go to employee expenses, right formula here. Go to employee drivers, bonus, department, extended part and now it is applied. Now car cost, writing formula here. Go to employee drivers, car allowance, go to system, click on department now. Country, the phone cost, drivers, allowance, department, country. For medical forms, for drivers, medical staff, department, country. See now the formulas are done. The data will be like this. Here the data is came. This is about how to done the work with lookup function. This is the lookup formula. This is the lookup function has done, and the data has came correctly. So I'm going to the next slide. Sum function or sum function. The sum function is that multiplied times based on list format or time period. Formatted line items are property in the source that matches a dimension from the target. For some function, there are few points are there for mapping. Some function mapping must be line of property. Mapping dimension must be the dimension of the source. The resulting line item must be number formatted. And we need the sum of only values meet or more specific criteria use Anaplan function. The syntax of the sum function is value of sum of mapping one, comma sum of mapping two. We can take any number of mappings. For this sum function, I'm showing an example in the workspace. For this, I'm taking a new module here. Please. For this, I need a time and I have line items. How I want formatting like this. And the format should be like this only. And I want the report of the time scale is here. I'm applying for all the line items. The data will be like this only. Because I have, in the time I have mentioned the number of future is 2 years and past year is 1 year. That's why showing like this. This is the past year and this is the current and these are the future years. Um, Now for this some function you have to write a formula here. Don't applies here. Region. So I want to write a formula here. Employee expense. Bonus. Region from so the formula is done. And for cost also I have a formula. So expensive, go to employee expensive and select cost. The system modules, select region, comma, so for phone cost also, separate formula, then employee expensive, select phone cost, select phone cost, region, sum of so for medical costs also, total employee expense, medical cost, define region, for salary also, go to system employees, click on current salary of region, minus this is the sum function to get the values here. This is about sum function. I'm going to the next slide. The total values are came here. I'm going to the next slide. Pivot. Pivot is nothing but to roll up the relevant a specific module and let you reorder the how they appear and showing an example in Workspace. Okay, this is the pivot tab. Click on pivot tab. You can interchange the uh, pages to columns and columns to pages. Anything you can change here. According to the data, we have to change this. To view in a good view, we can see like this. According to the end user view, we have to select our dimensions. For now, I'm selecting like this only to see in a better view. Okay, this is the data scheme now. This is about the pivot table. This is how the pivot table works. I'm going to the next slide. Functional areas. Functional areas are nothing but I'm showing an example in modules. Here, functional areas tab now is there. Click on functional areas and click insert. I have using system modules, report. I have used these three modules for better understanding. We can mention here these are the function areas. Now we can mention as employees as employee and employee drivers also it belongs to employees only. So we can select employee and report results. And these are the system modules. We have to choose system module like this. This is to understand in easy way where the modules are belongs to where the all the modules are there by going to function area, and we can easily find out where the modules are there according to the data. This is about the function area. Function area is one of the way to organize and group the components of a model is to create an assign function. Function areas are a great tool for organization on Anaplan platform. Functional areas are the categories used to group together modules and classic dashboards that are embedded in module. I have already shown in the workspace. The work has to be done. It is in two ways. The first way is organize the modules, grouping the modules. Grouping the modules are these are belongs to one group, means employees group. That's why I have mentioned that the two are in employees list, employees function area, and the second way is functional area used to organize the classic dashboard when all the data is over in the next lessons and all the modules are created and we are giving to the end user in classic dashboards. In the end user also can uh, identify by the functional areas. The second by using the control panel, he can find out the where the where the data is there, what he want to see the data. He can easily find the data. This is about functional area. And the last one is the copy down and copy across. For this, I am creating another small exam module. I mention time as dimension and only example. Okay. Taking two lines. Data will be for copy across means I have given some data here, 100. I want to prefer this 100 to the total month values. So this is the copy across. If I click here, it will show no, it will give the data to all the month values. For copy down, we have to pivot the table. Time as here. See, this is the for the copy down. I have mentioned here some data, and if I click here, copy down, it will show the data, all the data for the in down direction. For copy cross, it will show in a row, and for copy down, it will be go to down. The same data will be go down. This is about copy down and copy across. In this section, I have concluded the following topics: modules, importing data into modules, system modules, employee modules, lookup function, sum function, function areas. Thank you. Thank you, Rabli, for giving this opportunity. Thank you.